Hey, what's up guys? DJI officially posted about the Pocket 4 Pro, so the release date is getting close, and we finally have a leaked unboxing of the standard edition, confirmed specs, price, and footage from both the wide angle and the zoom lens. That telephoto is what everyone's been wondering about, and now we can actually see what it does. Let's start with what's in the box. The packaging didn't change much from the Pocket 4. It's got stickers on the outside and a beginner's guide inside, but what's inside the box is actually a bit different from the Pocket 4. Let's open it and see. In fact, the first thing we spot is the fill light, which now comes bundled with the standard Pro version. It makes a real difference for selfie shots at night. Without it, you're just underexposed. You also get the small handle, which handles charging and lets you mount to a tripod. Next, we have a lanyard that can actually prevent the camera from slipping from your hands. It seems easier to connect and actually feels secure. Now, let's look at the camera itself. The big camera head is actually the first thing you notice. It's bigger than any pocket camera DJI has made before. The back of the camera head has not contact points. That's where the fill light snaps on magnetically. Then on the side we see the model Pocket 4P and a memory card slot. So DJI is still keeping this option even though this camera's got internal storage. But the most interesting thing about it is the dual camera head. The main wide camera is a 1-inch sensor, which is perfect for low light. It's got 50 megapixels and is 20mm equivalent f2. While the telephoto camera is 60mm equivalent, it's got a smaller 1.3-inch sensor, but a larger aperture of f1.7, which compensates at night. You could take high-quality zoom shots at up to 3 times, even at night, and it would still hold up. The bokeh effect is also amazing at that kind of aperture, but we'll see that later in the footage preview section. There's also a filter mount on the lens. It can be easily swapped with other filters like neutral density, CPL, or soft focus filters. To put it back, you just snap it on and rotate it. Alright, let's power it on and check out the zoom. It seems very reactive and it switches on super fast. In the interface, you've got a 1x and 3x toggle at the bottom of the screen. Tap 3 times and you're immediately on the telephoto. From there, the lever takes you all the way to 12 times zoom. So you have real optical zoom as your base before you even start touching the digital side. The jump from 20mm to 60 is dramatic on a camera this small. Something that's a small detail in the background at 1 time fills the frame properly at 3. For shooting across a room, down a street, anything at a distance, you can actually frame it the way you want. Now let's compare it with the 2 previous models, the Pocket 4 Standard and the Pocket 3. The first thing I notice is clearly the lens difference on the Pro version. From the side, both the 4 Pro and the Pocket 4 have a protected memory card slot. The Pocket 3's is an open slot directly in the body. Weight is up slightly on the 4 Pro due to the bigger double lens, and both the Pocket 4 and 4 Pro have the zoom button and the customizable shortcut button. The Pocket 3 doesn't have either. The SD door would definitely protect the camera and SD card from splashes and dust going inside. However, I don't think it's fully waterproof, and frankly it's not easy to make such a gimbal camera fully waterproof. Now I want you to take a look at the sample footage shot with the Pocket 4 Pro. The zoom lens actually surprised me. But before we do that, don't forget to subscribe. And if this video reaches 1000 likes, I'll make a full tutorial on the Pocket 4 Pro. The first thing you notice on the telephoto footage, subjects separate from the background in a way that just doesn't happen on a wide-angle lens. That's what 60mm does. So you're no longer only working wide with no depth to the image, like on the Pocket 3. The telephoto changes the look at a fundamental level. You can film someone 30 meters away or a detail across a crowded square and actually frame it like a proper shot rather than hoping the digital crop holds together. The main wide-angle footage looks consistent with what the 1-inch sensor delivered on the Pocket 4. It's got good dynamic range and clean detail, but that's the camera you might already know. The telephoto is the new thing here. At 12 times digital on the far end, you lose some sharpness as expected, but because you're starting from a real 3 times optical base, the fall-off is gradual. You're not hitting a wall at 3 times the way you would on a digital-only camera. The spec sheet backs it up: 4K up to 240 frames per second, 8K at 30 frames per second, 14 stops of dynamic range. And there's a rumored new color profile called D-Log2, which would add more flexibility in post. We'll see if that actually ships. And that dual camera opens up new modes we haven't seen yet. Focal length switching mid-shot, smoother zoom transitions, probably new active track behaviors using both lenses together. We'll see how all of that actually works once we have one in hand. But when is it coming out? Although DJI has already announced its release, it did not officially say when, so I asked the DJI store and they said it should come out soon in June, so I guess it's just a couple of weeks away at this point. On price, earlier reports had the standard version around $700, which is roughly $200 more than the standard Pocket 4 at about $500. The fill light being in the box is actually worth noting here, because on the Pocket 4 that's a separate cost. However, the price might change slightly depending on where you are in the world. In the US, we don't even know if this is going to be officially released yet due to the FCC restrictions put in place since last December. You might still be able to buy it from third-party resellers or import it from abroad. We'll find out soon, I guess. While the Pocket 4 hasn't made it yet to official DJI stores or Amazon stores in the US, the Pocket 3 is still sold as normal and includes US warranty, so if you'd rather stick to that, I've left a link down in the description to the best offers. Honestly, at this stage, this looks like the most capable Pocket DJI has ever shipped. Once we have one in hand, we'll find out if it actually delivers. Now, Insta360 is also preparing to launch its first pocket camera, the Luna Ultra, and this one's got me very surprised. I just made a video about it. Click here if you want to watch it.